Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video today. So today we get the calm before the contract storm, and it's a smaller update this week with some quality of life changes to the Yama fight. So let's take a look at some of the known issues right now. We are aware of ranged weapons giving players XP in the correct combat style. Imagine those one defense peers getting defense XP, that's crazy. And we are aware of an issue with Yama's Phase 3 dragging the boss to players, and this was hot fixed. So, the calm before the contract storm. So, after last week's debut of Yama, the Master of Packs, we've absolutely loved watching you dive headfirst into the chaos, testing your might, experimenting with every tactic under the sun, and generally causing quite the scene. Your feedback, wild theories, and relentless grind have been an absolute treat to watch, and nothing brings people together like the shared experience of getting incinerated from orbit while your partner heroically stands on the wrong glimp. Truly inspiring, great for trust exercises, less so for survival. And it looks like this person right here put a image here where, yeah, it looks like the orbit's coming in and the Yama's just laughing and you're just about to die. I think it hits like over 100 or something, right? So now on today's update, or lack thereof, kind of. So this week's game update is a little quieter than usual. Think of it as the eye of the storm. We're using this time to make sure Yama is behaving or misbehaving in the exact right ways, in exactly the right ways. We're ironing out any unexpected bugs, glitches, or pact-related weirdness that might have crept up. This is honestly good. They should do this from time to time. Just make sure things are good, make sure it's perfect, right? I haven't honestly done much Yama myself, but I've watched a lot of content on it, and it does look like incredible, very good piece of content. So I'm glad that they're spending their time on it and making sure that it's perfect. We're also putting the final touches on the release for contracts, which, as you know, are landing this Friday. So after this video is posted, it will be the next day that the contracts finally come out. That means all those contracts you've been stockpiling since last week will soon be put to good use. Expect ramped up fights, beefy rewards, and all sorts of opportunities to flex your combat prowess, or get very swiftly humbled. Yeah, so I know these fights are going to be similar to the awakened bosses from Desert Treasure 2, so they're going to be extremely hard, and I honestly personally think Yama's already a difficult boss. I didn't have the right gears, so I can't really say that, but it's definitely one of the more challenging bosses in the game, so, you know, ramping the fight up will be crazy. So we'll be sharing the drop/loot mechanics in full next week, though we did provide the old school RuneScape wiki with specifics in advance. So if you're interested in the unique drop rates, head over here. As you know, last week we made some careful adjustments because the initial drop rates were a bit higher than intended, which risked upsetting the balance with other items like Torva that occupy a similar role. Okay, so here it looks like are the actual rewards or the uniques from Yama, and this is on the wiki right now. So it looks like obviously the pet is 1 in 2,500, which is, you know, rare pet, of course. Definitely takes a very long time to get kills at this boss. I've only seen one in game myself. Oath plate armor looks like it's about a 1 in 600. And then it also up here does say for the solo kills, there is a 1 in 120 chance to receive either Oath Plate Armor or the Soul Flame Horn. But I guess in the duos, it's about 1 in 600, or that's per piece or per individual piece, I guess. And then, yeah, Soul Flame Horn. Horn looks like it is 1 in 300. The Forgotten Lockbox, not even sure what this is 1 in 31. This looks like it may be a contract. Dropped from Yama, they can be open to obtain a contract. Yes. 1 in 17. And then Oath Plate Shards, 1 in 16. These are obviously used to make the Oath Plate armor. So there are still a handful of changes included with today's update though, which we hope are welcome. So here's a quick rundown and a reminder that we're still working on a whole host of other things that were listed in a blog update last Friday. So, fixed a bug where Yama would become inactive if his target was forcibly logged out. So I guess if you were like doing it with a friend or something and they were attacking your friend but they DC'd, I guess it would become inactive. Fixed an issue with the Soul Flame Horn where its settings would reset on equip. So adjust some of the following drops, as we just saw, right? Different drop rates, improvements. Mostly it looks like. So quantity of fire runes increased by 5x. Added elite clues to Yama's loot table at a rate of 1 in 66. Doubled the drop rate for of contracts from demons in the chasm of fire. So basically, yeah, you're gonna get more of these now, which is cool. I guess now the price of them will probably come down tomorrow, depending, of course. But that's cool that you can get double now. And it's also worth noting that these demons in the chasm, I don't know what people call it, are going to be good Slayer tasks now, right? Because before maybe you'd go, say, to Karen, or maybe I don't even know where people kill the demons. But now this is a good option to actually go there because nobody went there before. So Yama will now be in the center of the arena after each transition phase. Very cool. So all Demon Bane spells have reduced fire rune costs from 4, 8, 12 to 3, 5, 7. That's actually really nice. I know fire runes like shot up. Okay, so this is the chart for fire runes, and if we take a look at the past month, right, they're always 5 GP. Even probably the last quarter. Yeah, all 5 GP. And as you can see, the Yama release on the 14th, they actually had a high of 8. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you, like, this is the past, okay, they were 6. So this is the highest they've been in over a year. Maybe even of all time. Which is crazy. But yeah, you look 5 GP, shot up to 8. So you could have made a little bit of money if you had like thousands of them. So Infernal Plates can now be traded. Oath Plate armor pieces can be broken down in the Ancient Forge inside the God Wars dungeon for 50 Oath Plate shards. So we understand a quieter update may feel like a bit meh to some, but this moment of calm is important as it gives us time to make sure everything is running as it should. Like I literally said at the start of the video, if they miss an update here, kind of make a smaller update like here and there, it's good, it's healthy for the game, right? It usually means that they're working on something bigger and better, right? And sets the stage for the next round of contract chaos. Sometimes you've got to sharpen the blade before swinging it, right? That's a really kind of good way to say it. You got to sharpen the blade before swinging it. So contracts, before you get stuck into contracts later this week, we've got some important news to share. While we don't have an exact time in mind at the moment, we're targeting around 11 BST. For activating these tomorrow. We appreciate that this isn't an ideal time for our US players. That doesn't sound right, but anyways, with so many distinct encounters being added, we need to make sure we have enough time to fix any issues that may arise. Of course, right? I'm not even really sure what time that is in like our time. I don't know. I really don't care, to be honest, either, but it'll come out. We know that our initial plan to have contracts be solo only wasn't exactly a smash hit with you. Yeah, it's weird, a duo boss, but you can only fight it solo for these contracts. Kind of weird. So we're adjusting some contracts to allow you to tackle them with a friend. I think the issue here was some of them, for example, would say this one would guarantee the pet drop, or this one would guarantee a rare reward or whatever. And it's like, if say you have like a 1 defense peer doing it, and then they just do none of the damage. And I think that's kind of the issue that they were worried about, maybe people taking advantage of stuff like that. Or, you know, you could just buy the contract and then get your friend to help you with it to get the pet or something. I'm not sure. So we've got a list of which ones you can duo below, but don't worry about remembering them all. The contracts themselves will tell you which ones you can and can't duo, and give you a rough idea of the most important changes within the fight. So these are the ones that you can duo, or the ones you can't. I'm confused. Oh, it looks like I didn't need to ramble on because it basically said what I meant. So this means that contracts guaranteeing a piece of Oathblade, the Soulflame Horn, or a piece of Purring Sigil, I don't even know what the hell that is, will be solo only. So the Yama encounter for any contract with acquisition in the name is the same. The catch being that for contracts of Oathblade acquisition and Harmony acquisition, you'll need to take him down solo. So ultimately, we think you guys are right. Having at least some contracts being doable in a duo makes sense, and it would have been a shame to have all of the hardest variants of the boss being done in isolation. Yeah, I like this kind of path, I guess, better, where you can at least do it with a friend, right? We'd rather steer clear of any potential boosting problems, exactly what I was talking about, and keep them as prestigious, very challenging encounters for players looking to strut their stuff and flex a Radiant Oathblade, or just make a pretty penny. For the less expensive tradable rewards, we think these are safe to let you tackle with a friend, but only the player who used their contract will get the reward. So make sure you trust your partner to split your winnings. I don't know if that's a good way to do it. I guess you kind of have to, right? Because imagine you spent like 5 mil on this contract, and then your friend gets the reward because they like hit like some more damage. But then at the end of the day, like I said, like you can still take kind of boost this a little bit, like on defense peers or like way lower levels will be able to get the drops, but I don't know, if they're not like huge drops, I don't think it's a big deal. So here's a cool thing. So even if the contract isn't yours, you'll still be able to get lucky and snag unique drops or any contract on any contract. So that's cool. It might be worth it to do it with your rich friend and help them out, and maybe you'll snag a unique as well. Though regular loot is disabled for all of them except for the contract of familiar acquisition. So since the contract of familiar acquisition no longer outright guarantees a pet, and instead increases the drop chance by 10x. That's crazy. It used to guarantee the pet. So people probably were keeping these ones and stockpiling them, and now they're still good, 10x for the pet, but then you don't get any loot, right? So 10 times for the player who used the contract alongside regular loot rolls. We're also happy to see you take this on in twos. This is one of the most interesting fights on the cards, so have fun theory crafting your setups here. We can't wait to see what you come up with. Yeah, it's one of those things, right, where I'm just like, you use the contract, that's it. No, the fight's completely different. It's a lot harder. So yeah, you're probably going to be dying a lot, using a lot of the contracts, but 10 times for the pet chance. What would that be? Like, instead of 1 in 2,500, it will be like 1 in 250. It's pretty good. Oh my god, can you go away, buddy? So it's also worth noting that you should prove successful on any of the following contracts, then you'll be rewarded with the same contract again as a drop. Oh, That's actually very, very cool. So it looks like if you get good at it, you won't need to keep buying it. But it looks like maybe these are the only ones in there, so yeah. So this means for any contract that doesn't have a guaranteed tradable reward, you'll be able to run it back as often as you like, so long as you don't meet your like death, right? As always, thank you for your patience, your feedback, and continued love for the game. We're super excited to see how you all get on and with this and stuff. Yeah, cool. Deadman All-Stars Season 2. Looks like this is a solo mission video, so of course I'm gonna have to check it out. Huge fan of that guy, just makes amazing videos, honestly. Yeah, I guess we'll be watching this right after I finish recording this. Okay, this is a new section. It looks like they're going to be adding to the weekly updates or whatever. So player support and anti-cheating stats. So we're kicking off a new monthly addition to our game update post. So it's monthly. A regular snapshot of player support and anti-cheating statistics. These updates will give you a better look at what our player support and anti-cheating team have been up to behind the scenes each month. From the number of bans issued to the amount of GP removed and everything in between. We're sharing a bit more of the outgoing or ongoing work that helps keep Gillenar fair and fun for everyone. So each month we'll include the latest stats right here in the game update blog, but if you want to check them out yourself, you can head over to our dedicated player support and anti-cheating stats. So here's a breakdown of the latest data. So average response time is 41.1 hours. They did say, I'm pretty sure they said it will be under 48. So I don't know if that's high, maybe not. So the ticket satisfaction score in April 2025 is 70.91%. So let's get into these statistics. So April 2025, support queries resolved 33k, support center views almost 800k, report action messages 90k, macro bans, so this is botting bans, over 300,000 in April. Holy Christ, if you think about that, that is a lot. And it looks like 2.3 trillion gold was removed in April from the game. Talk about a gold sink, am I right? This is so good for them to show us this, because if they never removed all this gold, like the economy would be insane. Like a U-log would be like 5k or something. So real world trade bans is 14,000 this month, and the chat spam mutes is 4,700. Crazy. And it also, I like how it shows the year to date stats as well. And macro bans in 2025 alone, over 1 million players, and 10 trillion gold has been removed from the game. Crazy. And of course, a new beanie key rings, some merch, new creator crafted launches. Are these like posters, or are these, oh, it looks like they're mouse pads. Very, very cool. I like that dragon. They're actually both really cool, but yeah, they're mouse pads. And then we've got the scythe, the T-bow. It's weird how they don't have the shadow, but they have the bofa. I don't know, a little strange to me. And then it looks like there is a couple of other changes. So I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but this person's rune selection menu now shows quantities more reliably for players with the rune pouches, and fixed an issue where players could bypass freeze effects from like Ice Barrage or Entangle by combining certain item interactions in the same tick. So yeah, that's the changes for this week. And yeah, it looks like tomorrow the contracts will be dropping and people will start taking them on. Yeah, honestly, not the biggest update in the world, but definitely what, like I said, like one that's worth doing from time to time to make sure the game is good, healthy, and some much needed changes to Yama for sure as well. But yeah, that is about it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.